The Inesis premium ball, designed for expert players with an index below 15, has been available from Decathlon for at least 17 years. So the Tour 900 ball from 2021 was very spinny, with a lot of spin, and it's true that it's important to have spin, but in this case we put on a little too much, particularly on long shots, on the driver or the intermediate irons. I think we had the most spinny ball on the market. The biggest challenge was to achieve the right distance on the driver, which meant reducing the spin a little on long shots, but maintaining a very good spin rate on wedges and approach shots. So that was really the important point. And then I challenged our engineer Amélie by telling her that the ball I felt was the reference in this segment today was the Pro V1, and so I wanted to get closer to the performance of the Pro V1.
When Nico, the product manager, gave me his brief, I realized that there were some objectives that weren't going in the same direction. The first objective was to gain distance, and in return there was this objective of lowering compression. Normally these are two conflicting objectives. So I said to myself, how am I going to find the best compromise to satisfy users?
Yes, in a golf ball I'd say there are three components. First, there's the core, which occupies the largest part, the largest volume of the ball. There are outer layers, there may be 1, 2 or 3, which are very thin, generally on the order of a millimeter. And then there's what's on the outside, the dimples, those little depressions on the surface that make the ball fly better.
For this new Tour 900, we chose a three-piece construction. Why a three-piece ball? Because it was the best compromise for achieving the performance specified in the product manager's brief. With a three-piece ball, you have that control on the green that you don't get with a one-piece or two-piece ball. What's more, by having more layers, you can optimize the spin rate for each golf shot. This means maximizing spin rate at the wedge and minimizing spin rate at the driver to maximize the distance.
So the big difference is not really around the driver, because in fact the balls all behave in much the same way with the driver, but around the short irons, from the 9-iron I'd say, or sand wedge, there are really remarkably different behaviors between different kind of balls. The more layers you have, generally speaking, the more backspin you can produce, so it's easier to control the ball on the green.
We made several prototypes for this ball. The first round of prototypes we tested different mantle thicknesses. We had 5 different thicknesses. We did a series of tests and came up with the mantle thickness that we put on this ball, a 30% increase in the thickness of the layer. The second series of prototypes we carried out concerned the core material. Above all, we wanted to lower the overall compression of this ball and put it at 90. So we had to work on the composition of the core to achieve 90 compression.
And it was quite positively obvious. From the very first shots, we felt that we leveled up on our golf ball's quality, our ball's performance, ball's touch and ball's control.
So it's true that the golf ball is a truly iconic item in the golfer's locker room. In fact, you can't play golf without a ball. It's an object that's both very complex and very simple in terms of its geometry, and also in terms of the field of action reserved for the designer. So I'm not going to be able to work on the ball's form, its geometry, its diameter. These are things that are fixed. On the other hand, I'm more or less free to work on the graphic and color aspects. So that's why we were able to work on new paints for the balls, new finishes, play between matte and gloss, even finishes with metallic glitter, notably on certain top-of-the-range models for the Tour 900. We also reworked the graphic harmony between the alignment lines, logos and numbers. We also reworked the typography of the numbers to be more in line with the overall Decathlon identity. The 3D rendering and exploded view work done by our teams to understand the technology inside the ball is very well done and is reflected in the first phase of the packaging, which really gives it a lot of value and technicality. The Tour 900 comes in 2 colors. The white one, as you can see here, is the ultimate classic, and there's a yellow version which is a little fluorescent yellow with little sequins and a little mother of pearl on top. It really gives it a very sophisticated look, very modern, much more daring. and both have black branding to give them a more classic, timeless look.
My Golf Spy is, I think, the world's biggest influencer on golf. Well, 2019 was a bit of a high point for us. It was a great moment because the Tour 900, which we had released 2 years before, was voted by My Golf Spy as one of the 3 balls. I think there were 3 balls. One of the 3 balls with the best, what they call best value. So the best performance price ratio. And so that's great because that's exactly what we're looking for with our products at Decathlon and Inesis, is to guarantee that you can have the best value for money. We've decided to send our ball to My Golf Spy so that it can be part of the 2023 test and compare with the balls that will be launched in 2024.
So when we got the results, we were really proud because as we knew the ball was in the game, in the match with the competition, but here we had confirmation from an independent laboratory and we were actually similar.
I was happy that an external organization had done the same tests and proved to the world that our ball was good.
In the My Golf Spy test, there are 2 versions. There's the current version and there's the ball we've called Proto. So in the My Golf Spy listing, it's the Proto Inesis ball. And in fact, it was the code name for the new ball to be launched in 2024. If you've got a good golf ball, it's going to be reflected in all the products we design. It's extremely important that we can achieve a level of performance that will ensure that Inesis is known and recognized as a golf brand that designs quality products.